Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm at the BDNY show in New York, and I'm in the Durkan space with Duncan and Arnavaz Barshan. So, Dave, you're the SVP of this brand, and Arnavaz, you're the Director of Design, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, it's a beautiful space here. I noticed the D out here. The only way you know you're in the Durkan space is there's a D outside. Now, that doesn't stand for Duncan, does it?
He's a very important part of our business. So throughout the whole pandemic, he's held the team together.
It stands for Durkan, obviously, and I think most people know this brand. Actually, part of the Mohawk family of brands since 2000, and it is your brand in this market, right?
That's correct, yeah. So Durkan, because it's got such good brand equity in the hospitality space, that's why Mohawk's maintained it. But we're part of the Mohawk group, and Durkan really represents the hospitality segment for that business.
So tell us how's business in this sector?
The business this year has been excellent. In fact, through the pandemic, 2020 was actually not a bad year for us. 2021 was a little tough. The pipelines had kind of dried up and so forth. But towards the end of 21, it started to pick up, and we've had an excellent year. So, knock on wood, very good year, and we're still very optimistic and hopeful as we move into 2023.
Most of the velocity in this space is on the remodel side, right?
That's correct. 20% of it typically is construction and new build, and about 80% is all driven by renovation.
Okay. Arnavaz, tell us about this space. First, let's start with this chandelier.
Isn't that gorgeous? So an artist we worked with, we wanted to work on this bigger story, which is the Better Together. And so we worked with the Art Lifting organization. So we selected 2 artists to work with their artwork and get inspired through them. And this particular chandelier is an influence of the 2 artists' work that we worked with for the entire collection. And I think it just pulls the whole booths together. It's a beautiful piece of art, has bright colors. We're ready for some life in the industry, some excitement in the industry. So it kind of is a good tie-in to the whole collection.
This is audio. You can't see it, but it's a beautiful glass mosaics with a lot of light shining on it in various different colors. So it is a draw to bring people in. Arnavaz, I should start out with, most people know David was the head of marketing on the residential side before he moved over here 7 or 8 years ago. And you came from SCAD before you came over here, right?
I was in SCAD, and then I worked with an ex-minister company for 11 and a half years. I did design, and then I moved into sales. So I've done both the sides of the business. That honestly has helped me in my role here as a director, because I kind of have seen both the sides and what the expectations are. So it's kind of fun to be in a role where you're able to guide and invest more in the right talent. So I think I'm very fortunate to be what I'm doing now.
Most people know hospitality is a very customized market because the brands and the owners want to tell the story. You see things on the wall here which shows your capabilities, but in most of the properties you go into, it's super custom, right?
Yeah, most of our projects are super custom. But the good thing about Durkan, what I feel and a lot of our customers like, is the fact that we have a good selection. We have a good standing with all the prototypes. We also have a good amount of running line. And we also have the custom capability. So it's one of those things, like if you have a project where you want to do certain areas where the budget is a constraint, so you want to kind of focus on running line stuff, but then there are areas where you want to spend a lot, so we can do custom. So it's kind of nice to have that flexibility and provide that flexibility with different soft surface platforms, from Definity to CYP to Pattern Perfect to PDI. So it's nice to be in a position right now more than ever where we start off with like larger budgets and then they go through value engineering. So it's kind of nice to be in a situation where we are able to offer different level and different valued products, which helps our customers a lot, so they don't have to go back to the drawing boards and redesign the whole thing. We're in a good spot of having a good balance in our bags for our reps.
So most people know the trends in this business right now is a little bit of a shift to hard surface, which actually encourages the owner and the brand to want to bring in area rugs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, area rugs has become a big thing as the shift is happening, but I'm a true believer. Carpet is not going to go anywhere. We are going to see carpet. People are wanting carpet because you can have hard surfaces, but it's not comfortable for the feet. You can't have them in the ballroom. You know what I mean? So there is going to be a shift, but there is going to be a shift back very soon. I think it's because of the pandemic. Everybody has a notion of hard surface being easy to clean, which is true, but we're going to get over it and we're going to get back into carpet. We need to get back into carpet.
I'm with you. I love carpet. If I check into a hotel, I'd rather be on carpet.
And carpet, people don't realize this, that carpet actually brings spaces together. Like, I feel very privileged to be working on a design platform that actually ties in the whole concept of the designer, the whole vision of the designer. It gives the right feel in every hotel spaces and differentiates hotels from one another, brands from one another. So it's kind of the most important tie-in piece.
So is this like Christmas morning for you? Do you love the show?
I love the show. I love the show. I love the hustle and bustle. I like everybody's back in and everybody's excited. It just feels nice to get back.
You had Stacey Garcia in your space earlier, and she was wearing all orange, and I thought maybe she was a Vol fan. People really step out here with what they wear, right?
I think so. I think there's a little bit of that. Like, we want to be comfortable, but there's like a little bit of like you want to show that you're fashionable. It's a dialogue, right? Like, it's your identity and how you dress speaks volumes. So you want to be at your best.
So this is an Emerald show, and they also own the Vegas show, but this is actually the better show for three reasons, I think. One is it's closer to the brands, and there's more of a designer A&D probably area right here nearby. And these booths, you're one of the biggest brands in the space, and you're in a 20 by 20 space. So, you can see this show all at once, right? That
is true, and I think a lot of people, it's also the city. City is lively, people love the city. There's a lot to do here, and there's a lot to get inspired by. There are lots of museums here. There's a lot more than people can do. So get inspired at the show, go out and do your own research, which is lovely. I think that's why the show is more important, and it's picking up more for a lot of customers. And New York, who doesn't like New York, right?
All right, it's great to spend time with you. Again, been talking to David Duncan, the SVP of the Durkan brand, and Arnavaz Barshan, the Director of Design, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.